Hey Aquarius, welcome to Tourmaline Tarot. We're going to do your major issue for May. We're going to see what's going on with just the majors out of a deck and pull for general finance and relationships. And then we'll clarify with a whole deck. So what is Aquarius, what does Aquarius have going on for May in those areas of general finance and relationships? 1, 2, 3. That was good. Okay. So, in general, we have the Wheel of Fortune. All right, things are kind of turning. You're kind of new phase time. I kind of get the vibe. Justice in the finance sector, and the Emperor's been coming out hard this month for everybody. And in relationships, you have Sky Father, Sky Daddy, and that is the Emperor there. So overall, it's like things are turning and moving. You're kind of entering into a new age of Aquarius, even. So we're going to pull the challenges of this. So High Priestess is on top of the Wheel of Fortune as the challenge. So it's kind of like, you know this is coming, but how? Like the High Priestess of like, do you kind of keep quiet about it? Do you kind of like lean into this power, you know, kind of like muscle in? So we'll do some clarification of this. So Strength on top of Justice. Yeah. So there could be an element, sometimes strength in, you know, kind of a challenge position is holding back. You know, like, are you holding back from an opportunity? Are you holding back, you know, Justice is, you know, rebalancing of the scales. But it's also, you know, if you were waiting on any kind of settlement, stuff like that, is there something that's kind of challenging you, that something's not coming through yet, and you were waiting on it, and you were like, come on. But, I mean, with Justice there, I feel like it is going to happen. It's just, it might not show up the way you wanted it to, or you needed it to. At that moment. But we have the Naked Heart. Now the Naked Heart is an extra card in this deck, but it's basically like the highest form, you know, give love, except it comes after the world. And you know, it is like just like the universe open, you know, it's like if you took the universe card, like the world card and the Wheel of Fortune card and like the star, and you mooshed it up. That's what this is. But so that's your challenge. But I feel like if you have the Sky Father, it's almost like reversed. Like you want to control this abundance, but at the same time, you kind of can't, because you have the wheel, you know, doing its thing, and you're like, but, you know what I mean? You're just, you know, you're trying to, you know, maybe drive things, and it's not going exactly the way you want it to. And then that Justice thing with that little bit of holdback, you're like, come on. But I'm not saying it is bad, but the High Priestess, you know, she can be kind of bitchy, you know, if she's in the challenge position where it's like, please don't test me. So we're talking in general, what can Aquarius do there? King of Wands. This guy wants stuff done. Wants things to happen. He's literally on fire. So what's that about? And the Knight of Pentacles. Could you go a little slower? Like, yes, it's moving, but it's also like, you know, clock's ticking. So let's see, Knight of Pentacles. What is that bringing to you, though? Yeah, the Nine of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. You're just like, you know, there's kind of like that long sigh. And it kind of just leaves you up in your head, because you keep kind of turning things around. And you're like, this, that could be, this could be that. And then, you know, you just have this little dink-a-dink, like, here. And you're like, come on. Like, you want your weight to be proportionate to the payoff. You know what I mean? There's like that little hint of frustration there. But we'll come back to the page in a sec. But I want to find out what this finance business is about. Yeah, the King of Cups and Three of Swords. Excuse me, but yeah. There's something that, you know, like I said, there's this hold back energy where it's like not, it's not that it's not going in your favor, it's just not moving as fast as you need it to in the favor, or somebody, you know, just kind of mucked up a little and the Emperor. You're like, do you want me to show you how it's done? Because let me get in there. You know? Let's see. Oh, 2 wanted to come out there. Okay. There's multiple Emperors in this deck, and you got both of them with the 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like if you want these scales to balance, or someone else is like, I can't do it, you're like, give me it. You know? 2 Emperors on top of each other with the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, if there was ever a get S done vibe, it would be this, okay? So going over here in relationships, you have all this abundance, and you're like, but what do I do with it? The Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Cups. Shut up and enjoy it. I know, isn't that rude? So, yeah, it's like, just lean into it a little bit. Trust it a little bit. You know, there could be, you know, a reunion thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody from the past, but you could actually be meeting back up with people that you haven't seen in a while. You know, the time has passed, and it's all kind of going along, and I feel like you almost don't trust it in a way. But what is that about? Yeah, you don't trust it. There's something you don't trust. But like, I want one more on this before I say the next thing. I'm going to say it anyway. I feel like you should trust it a little bit because you have that naked heart as your challenge. Your challenge is to trust it. And you might be so hard into this Emperor energy, holding everything else down, that when it comes to like finally giving some room to let go, you kind of forget in a way. The Moon. Yeah. So get in your feels. Get in there. Get in there, Aquarius. And what are we doing when we get inside there? What happens when we get in there? You wind up with the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. So it's in there. It's in there. Let her out. Let them out. Him, her, that, whatever. Let it out. And just kind of like lean into it a little more. I want one more on this Queen of Pentacles because like she seems real stable and nice and everything, but she just doesn't look like she's having a good time. Queen of Cups, that's more like it. Yeah, so you're kind of, you know, go inside, do a little like, you know, internal work, and then debut. Oh, remember I said I wanted to find out what this page was about. So if you're like, oh my gosh, what is this page? You know, because usually it's news, it's usually communication. What is this about? But, you know, the Star. There you are. Yeah, but it's also kind of like the piece that kind of knocks this all loose. You know, and what about the Star? I always get nosy. It's like, no, Star's not good enough. I need to know for sure. King of Swords. Someone's finally making a decision. You have Mr., you know, like King of Wands, like, burr, burr, burr. Over here you have Mr. King of Cups, wishy-washy. Then you wind up with King of Swords that's like, boom. Decisions being made, things finally getting clarity, and, you know, there's kind of like that whoosh point where you're just like, you know, you got a clogged up drain, and you're just working on it, and you're just watching the drain out, and you're like, come on, get out of there. Now, so we're going to do the Oracle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wants one more. Now this one is sassy, and I never know quite what it's going to say. The Visit. Everyone keeps getting the Visit. So is something, are you going somewhere? Are you going to meet up with people? Like, what exactly are you doing here? And it's good news, though. Remember how we said good news was coming? Yeah, so it's like something finally starts going, which is nice. And the Maid. It goes back to that, like, you know, Queen of Pentacles energy and the Queen of Cups energy. It's being of service to people, but not to the detriment of yourself. Like, you're still a helper, but you're not an over helper. Now, surprise, what is the surprise about? Letter, remember we were talking about, like, over here, communication coming in. You might feel like Fortune. Yeah, it's shifting. So if you feel servants, again, back here on the visits, there's something, space love. That's kind of like a lofty ideas, you know, with like pie in the sky kind of situation. And sadness. Yeah. Capricorn got that kind of run too. But yeah, there is going to be that shift point where it does start, you're still going to have to kind of like, not going to say be nice, but, you know, embody that kind of more Queen of Pentacles-y energy versus any kind of force energy of the Emperor. And then it's almost like with the surprise, it's like, boom, kicks it loose. So, you know, hang in there till the kick it loose part. All right, Aquarius, that's what we have for May, and I'll talk to you in a little bit.